So yeah, welcome to MCTV 16. Tim and I kind of consider this class as the television class, but it's far more than that. It's kind of the evolution of television and new media. A lot of us, I'm old school, but a lot of younger people don't even watch television anymore. They watch on their phones or laptops. And movies and television kind of merging into one. So those are some of the things we'll be talking about in this class. So
Yeah, like we live in a world of content, right? Where everything we consume is content because how it's distributed to us is different. Do we watch it on the television versus is it being beamed into our screens via the airwaves, or is it through the internet, which is now how most streaming services work? It's not exactly the same as it once was when Grant and I were younger. You only had so many selections, whereas now we have infinite possibilities. You can watch anything at any time pretty much, and there's very rare live events that are captured live that need to be viewed live. Even the Olympics, we're not watching them live, we're watching them on tape delay, essentially, because it happened on another side of the world. So how we consume content has changed, and what we use this class to do is we use this class to help you know how we got to where we got to today through the filmmaking into television and the history of television to how you watch someone play video games on Twitch, or you watch a YouTube clip of somebody playing video games on Twitch, or you watch a clip on Instagram that also has a clip of someone playing a mobile game while they're talking and cutting something, because we live in a land of a content creation now, and it's always evolving.
yeah, it's funny. As you mentioned that, Tim, I was thinking when I was a kid, there were three channels. That's just how old I am. But there was ABC, NBC, and CBS. And then suddenly, when I was about in high school, there started to be cable and HBO and Showtime and Cinemax. And
Fox.
now, I mean, you mentioned the Olympics. When I was a kid, we watched Olympics. There was one channel and they had to pick and choose what they were going to show. Everything is filmed and you can screen all of it now. So
Yep.
the way we view content is, quite different. So
Yeah, it's really a selective model, whereas like the most popular television show of all time was that because there was only three channels and there were only three options. Whereas now, if you look at what is considered good ratings on a TV show, it would instantly be canceled back in the 1960s, because shows that are popular and good on television now, their ratings would mean they were canceled back when there was only three channels, because there's not as many options. So yeah, all fun stuff we're going to talk about in this class. Now, what's important to note, and since you're watching this, the best way to be successful in this class, of course, is to read everything, watch everything we present to you, and in order to get full credit, you need to not only answer our prompts on the discussions, but you need to respond to at least two others' work to get full credit. That's something a lot of students miss in this class. And you'll learn quickly because we will dock you points if you don't. But by the end, so I recommend like maybe midweek writing your response, or at the very least, if you're going to wait till, Sunday at 11 to do all your work, comment on two other people's posts. The sooner the better. It means people will respond back and forth, and all you have to do is answer our questions and then respond with kindness and politeness and thoughtfulness to one of your fellow students, or two, actually, two minimum. If you do more than that, no problem. So that's really a good way to be successful on any of the discussions, and every single week has at least one discussion topic.
yeah, and Tim and I taught this class for years face to face. And we here in the TV studio, that's where I'm sitting right now. And we had students and we had discussions. We were talking about the shows that we were watching, and students would ask questions and we would answer and we'd go back and forth. That's what we're trying to create on the discussion board. We want you to share your opinions and then read what your classmates are posting and then interact with each other. So that's the goal. Let's talk a little bit about some of the assignments that are coming up. I know that I've already gotten several questions from students in the class. One thing is this week, you need to go onto Canvas and post a picture of yourself and a brief bio of yourself. And it's graded. You'll get points for that. At the end of the week, one or both of us are going to make sure that you've posted a picture and bio and score it. So the reason why we do this is we want to know who you are. We want to be able to put a name with a face. We want to know, and we just did this in our acting class. What's your favorite film or television program, or what's your major, some hobbies or interests? Just a few things so that we get to know who you are. Very simple, and you do that on Canvas. Tim,
it really helps us to remember who you are, especially since it's a online only course. We only ever see your avatar. We read your work, but we do have lots of students, and Grant has hundreds of students most semesters. Hey, Grant, would you mind enabling screen sharing? I'll show them. I'm going to show them how to change your profile picture and everything on this Zoom. So if they're still confused, we can do that.
It's ready.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen and say share. All right. So you can see here's the syllabus online. I'm already logged into Canvas here. And if all we need to do is we need to go right here where it says account. Click on your account, then click on your profile. All right, is my internet going slow? Okay, hit profile. And then we have right here, basically I have already filled in this stuff. But what do I want to do? I want to change my photo. That's important. Let's check that. All we need to do is upload a picture. I can take a picture. That's an option. Let's take a picture right now. Let's I'm gonna allow. Let's allow. All right, there we go. Here we go. Did it take it? Oh, there we go. Let's retry it. Didn't give me a count. Oh, that's fine. I love it. There you go. So I'm going to save that. Piece of cake. Or if you have a professionally photo or you want something that maybe you controlled, you got a nice selfie on your camera, you can upload it from your phone, from your saved photos, any of your desktop. Let's see. I think it's refreshing here. So let's give it a second and while it converts, but all right. Looks like it's let's just do this. We can also look on here. I'm going to choose, let's see, Tim. So you're probably not seeing all my. Hold on one second. All right. Okay. It's going slow, so we get it. We'll just take another photo, see if it'll work. Take. Great. All right. Let's see if it pops up. Give it a second. Here's your bio. As well with the bio, you just can edit your profile. You can type anything right here. You can add links. I have social media links, or I can add any type of links I want. I can change services. You can also go into settings here, which is one thing. And what I noticed here in settings, you can click edit settings over here, add your pronouns if you'd like, a default email. If you want to change from your Gav email, you'd rather have your Gmail or a different email service here. You can't change your display name, how you're registered. That's stuck with it. So I would rather mine say Tim, but that's okay. You let us know what it is. And so then we say update settings. and we go back to our profile, we make sure everything's saved, and then we're good to go. Assuming that the picture will refresh eventually, but I'm going to stop my sharing there.
So that's something that everyone must do this week, and we'll score it probably over the weekend. The next thing you need to do, if you look under week 1 of the class, we're starting with the PSAs. And Tim and I have listed, I think it's more than a dozen, it's 16 PSAs that we want you to watch. So we gave links with URL addresses so you can watch them. We start with kind of a historical look. Here's your brain on drugs, and some others, but all the way to very contemporary PSAs. And we're doing it, one is to kind of show you how the evolution of PSAs over time, but also it is, we're giving them as models, because you have to make a PSA of your own. You have several weeks. Let me look I can tell you when they're due. They are due on September 29th, but you are going to make a short PSA of your own that can be 10, 15 seconds. It can be up to, I think the longest one was maybe 2 or 3 minutes, although it's way more than you need to do. 15 seconds would be great. But a public service announcement is something for the good of society, a message that vote, conserve water, don't text and drive, things like that.
It's a persuasive message. You're trying to tell us to do something or not do something. And after you watch these examples, you'll see that some are serious and very deadly serious, or some are fun or funny, or like use humors. And all of the examples we give are different ways to tell that story. So I can be like, hey, Tim, I've never made a movie before. Yeah, but you can use your phone or use your web camera to record yourself doing something. Or, hey, Tim, I don't want to be on camera. You don't have to. Some of these PSAs are just images with someone talking over it. You need to talk and tell your persuasive message. Hey, Tim, I don't want my voice, I don't want my image on there. Okay, have a family member read it. Go online and get one of those computer readers to read it and do a reader voice that way. And you can we've had students use their phones and use iMovie and put something together really simply. And what's notable about these PSAs are they tell a message. And what Grant and I need to know is, what are you trying to tell us to do or not tell us not to do? But we need to know what the point of your PSA if you're going to get full credit. So that's more important than if you make the most perfect technically perfect PSA. We want you to persuade us to do something. And that can be like, I'm walking and I'm holding a knife and then I fall on the knife. And then you could say, don't walk with the knife. And that's clear. It's like, okay, that's what they're trying to do. But if I'm holding a knife and I walk and I trip, and then it says, remember to tie your shoes, that's another message, but how it's filmed is all going to help tell the story or not, right? Or if I'm walking and I'm holding a knife and then I fall on the knife, you could also say, plan your murders better, right? Like, like, what are you trying to, how are you going to persuade us? Like, you can do that type of stuff. It's like, yeah, we always say there's a lot of don't smoke PSAs, but also you could do a PSA that's like, you should smoke, and tell us why. You just need to be persuasive. You can't just like say, here's a guy smoking, you should smoke, but why? Why are you telling us to do that? Because it's cool. Like the guy puts on glasses. It's because it's cool. And it's like, okay, maybe I don't agree with that persuasive argument, but he does look kind of cool with glasses. So that's one way to think about. So think about the PSA. And of course, if you have any questions or comments about any of these things in our class, you can always reach out to Grant or I. Our information's on the syllabus. You can text us or you can message us via Canvas. We respond very quickly, but if it's something that's like an emergency, you need our response, text messages are always the best. Please, please, please identify who you are. Because we have a lot of students, and
I teach 12 classes and I'm approaching 2,000 students. So If you don't identify yourself, sometimes they don't even, someone will say, when's the assignment due? Well, what assignment, what class, so identify yourself, and tell us which class you're in. Probably the school email is what we should, or Canvas inbox or the best ways to reach us first. Use text message kind of in a as a last resort. Weekends maybe might be better to text us, but I check my email multiple times during the day. So
Text message, like if it's emergency, like if
yeah,
there's something
right,
important, like yeah. But
yeah,
if it's like, hey, I don't know how to change my picture on my profile, or hey, I turned my thing in a minute late, is that going to affect my grade? Don't worry about that.
yeah.
Don't, and in fact, don't worry about a minute late. Or Grant and I have been students. We understand, like, oh, I meant to hit submit and I fell asleep. So basically, you'll lose points if you turn it in before we grade the piece. If it's late, if you even lose points for turning something in late.
Turning it in. So we were talking about the PSA. The best way to submit your PSA is to upload it to YouTube and share the link with us. But because the PSAs are so small, they're going to be very small files. You should be able to upload them to the class page pretty easily. If something's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, that will be an easy thing to do. So if it works, you can just simply upload it to the class page. But Tim and I need to be able to watch them. And actually, it's ideal if your classmates can watch them too. So
yeah, we need to share them, because one of the discussions will be giving feedback on others' PSAs. And if you are doing the YouTube route, please note that the prefer either make it public, that means anyone can see it, but then it's like, oh, Tim, I don't want anyone to see it. That's fine. Do unlisted. And what is unlisted? Unlisted is only people with the link can find it on YouTube. If you do private, you have to give us a password, and 9 out of 10 times no one gives us a password, so we can't grade it. So unlisted or public are the preferred options.
yeah. Okay. So by the way, did anyone have questions about the PSA assignment?
Yeah, you get a
Okay.
benefit for showing up here.
Yeah, let's talk about the other assignment that Tim and I wanted to talk about, and that's the presentations. This semester, you're going to do a presentation on one television program. It's a show that you choose, so hopefully it's a show that you're passionate about. And you're going to share this show with the class and with Tim and me. And we are purposely vague. I know that a lot of you are going to reach out to us. Well, what do you want and what do you expect? Well, we want to see your excitement for the show. We want to know where we can watch it, certainly. And it's good to probably talk about the characters or the setting, things like that. But the way you do your presentation can vary. We are not going to say it has to be a PowerPoint presentation or Google slides, or some students will actually film themselves giving their presentation and then upload the video. Whatever works best for you is fine with us. But you have to choose a show and present it, sell it to us, make us want to watch it. There are so many shows out there right now. Your job is to convince us to watch the one that you're suggesting. And the other thing too is you need to sign up for it. We don't want any show presented more than once. So if you look under week 1, actually, let me share. If you can see under week 1, here's the presentation sign up sheet. And oh, good, there's already several people signed up. So under comedy shows, we've got the Gilmore Girls, Dairy. I've never heard of Dairy Girls. That's 70
Learn about that one.
Yeah, Harvey Birdman, Family Guy, and under dramas, The Sopranos, Better Call Saul, The Queen's Gambit. These are shows that are now off limits. These people have signed up for them and they've got dibs. So if there's a show that you really like and you want to do your presentation on it, sign up quickly so that you will have dibs. As far as I know, Seinfeld is open because whoever wrote Seinfeld didn't write their name. So if you want that, I think it's
You can
Tim.
go and snipe it right now if you want
Yeah.
Seinfeld. So
Yeah.
no,
So
I wouldn't present Seinfeld. I would, of course, would do. I try to convince Grant to watch all of One Piece, of course. So just a brief 1,000 episodes, Grant. You could do it in a week, easy.
what show?
One Piece. That's the one
Oh.
Evan and I always talk about. Grant's son, Evan. Yeah, big Straw Hat Pirate fan. I'm only 640 episodes in, Grant, so I'm not all the way through. There's plenty of arcs I don't know about. But that being said, we basically, if I was to present One Piece to Grant, I would say, hey, One Piece is created. I do some research and be like, it was created by this guy, and this year there's this many episodes. Here are the main characters. Straw Hat Luffy, he wants to be the king of the pirates. Pirate Hunter Zoro, he wants to be the best swordsman, and so on and so forth, and get to Chopper and you know, Frankie and all of them. And go over some of my favorite arcs. And then I'd even say, like, Grant, here's some of my favorite battle clips. And here's here's Luffy going to Gear 2 or whatever the clips are I could include. Now, we have students, like Grant said, who will do a Google slide or a presentation turned into a video. We've had students who will talk like I'm talking to you on a webcam, but then edit in clips or edit in what they're talking about over there. So you don't have to make a PowerPoint presentation. And we've had students who have made like a fake like public access show where they, you know, Jonathan Rennan made a really funny presentation one year for us. And Grant and I are open. If you want to do like a interpretive dance or like a puppet show, we would love that. If you wanted to animate something, we are totally open to how you want to present it. We want to, and we really recommend choose your favorite show. Choose something that you know everything about. We all have a show that we could probably talk your ear off and be like, oh, this is the best, and this is why it's the best. And Grant and I have seen a lot, but they're like Grant said, the Dairy Girls, I've heard of it, but I don't even know what it's about. I believe it's a comedy about like Midwest people, I think, Grant. But we're going to learn about it this semester when that one's presented to us. And we've had lots of presentations and I got to tell you, I watched One Piece because a student presented it and convinced me to watch the Netflix show, and then I got into the anime. So I'm an anime fan. So think about what you want to choose. It should be easy. It should be something that you could put together really easily and really fun. So
yeah, think of us as a group of your friends, and you're choosing a show that you love, and you're trying to convince us to watch it. That's the goal of the presentation. So that, by the way, the presentations are not due. Give me a second while I look it up. Week 8, October 20th. So you have plenty of time to think about it and do that. But those are two of the big projects that Tim and I wanted to talk about and give you an idea. A lot of students kind of panic. Wait a minute, what are the parameters for the presentation? Well, we've kind of given you. We're purposely vague, but we want you to have the ability to do kind of what works for you.
Do we have anything else to talk about, or Grant?
Those are the main things that I thought.
Okay, I wanna tell everybody here right now and everyone watching the Zoom that's made it this far and haven't turned it off yet. I'm going to give you a real secret to success for this class. Grant and I fully believe in extra credit. And we offer a lot of extra credit opportunities, especially for those of you who might be interested into getting into filmmaking. Grant and I teach all of the film production classes on the campus, and our film production class which is on Fridays, films every single week. We film a new movie, about 15 new movies a semester, right, Grant?
Yep.
Give or take. If you want to volunteer and come on set, you'll get extra credit. Also, we want to say that our class starts on Friday. It's full currently. If you want to get into that class, show up on Friday, and we add anyone who shows up for the course. So it's probably the best class in my humble opinion as the instructor. It's probably the best class at GAV because we make movies, and you get to use equipment, you get to have fun, and it's no other really. This is serious. No other junior college or even college, your first semester can you touch a camera except for Gavilan. That's pretty cool. So we can answer questions about that if you have questions or concerns if you're here, or if you want to message us and ask us. It's totally open. We also have we also have an acting class if you're interested in learning about how to act for the screen, that we still have some space in Tuesdays and Thursdays. But yeah, this one's all about, you're going to watch a lot of stuff. We're going to vote. Grant, don't we normally vote on Black Mirror?
Yes.
And our documentary that you get to watch or you have options of what documentary.
Options. We don't all watch the same.
Yeah, right. We vote on what Black Mirror episode we're going to watch, though. So when's the new season? I think the new season's coming out. Maybe we'll watch a new one. I have to look
what? Black Mirror?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. So
yeah.
Okay, so I think we're done. Otherwise, the syllabus, of course, is on Canvas. If you click on syllabus, it has our contact information and all of the outlines. If there's any questions or comments, of course. Grant's on campus every single day of the week. I'm a part-time instructor, but I will respond if you need to. This is an online course, so this is more interaction than you normally will get. And we will do another optional Zoom at the end of the semester, which, again, here's another tip or trick. We go over what's on the final. Like, we'll go over every single question on the final, and the people who come to the Zoom really do well on the final. Let's say that. Okay?
Yeah. So I'm not going to say which show, but Carson asked if he could do a show if that was not technically a comedy or a drama, and I said yes. His show works for one of those for sure. But if you're unsure about a show that you want to pick, let us know. And
well, now I want to know, Carson, go sign up right now so I can know what it
does not have to be live action.
But it doesn't have to be. No, yeah, like One Piece is animated, right? So you can do it. Yeah, Harvey Birdman's an animated show. Totally, any medium works. Oh, you're muted now. Maybe it's my end. Can you guys hear Grant? Yeah, we're not hearing you, Grant. Why don't you mute and unmute? No, we lost you, man. You can hear me, right? I'm still talking. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe that's a good time to stop recording right now, and we can figure it out. Let's see if he could.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Anyways, there is a week of animation. In fact, is it 1 week or 2 weeks? It's not live yet because I want Tim to double check it, but he is the animation king. So yes, you absolutely can do animation, and it doesn't just have to be live action. Any other questions about the class or the first two big assignments? Okay, well, it was really nice meeting all of you. I'm going to stop record. Bye for those of you who are watching on Zoom.